What's up, NASCAR Authentics fans? David Land here, and I'm bringing you a full unboxing and review of Wave 5 of Lionel's NASCAR Authentics line. Now, the elephant in the room is that there are 6 cars in this wave, and I'm reviewing 4. We will get to all of that information, but first, I need to praise Lionel. We're at Wave 5, and this is the very beginning of June. Remember what happened at the very beginning of June last year? We were just getting Wave 2 of Spin Masters NASCAR Authentics. So a huge improvement. Distribution is great. We're getting the cars. I found these at Meijer for $5.99. Before you ask, Meijer is a regional chain. If you're in Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, or Kentucky, or Michigan, that's where you're going to be finding those cars. If not, start checking your targets because they're starting to hit. So, a really exciting wave. Well, maybe not so exciting, but I'm excited to get back into the NASCAR Authentics reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get into it. The NASCAR Authentics from Lionel, Wave 5. Alright, so I figure I'll address this right off the bat since it's the elephant in the room. It's the big controversy of this wave. Once again, Lionel has released the Batman versus Superman cars in this wave with a new, as they call it, trinket. This time they're on the basic card, all that good stuff that the regular NASCAR Authentics are on. The only difference, as I'll flash up on the screen here, are a new card or magnet, I'm not really sure which, but a new trinket featuring Batman and then Superman with each car. But the die-cast, as far as I could tell, are exactly the same. So a lot of people were feeling controversial about this, and I agree with them to a certain extent. Look, I mean, Batman vs. Superman was not a huge success as a movie. A lot of people were kind of iffy on it, myself included. So seeing as Lionel's kind of gone all in on the Batman vs. Superman stuff, I question that. But again, the problem with toys and die-cast and all that stuff is they have to plan this stuff way out in advance. So they took a risk, and maybe it didn't pay off because I've seen these cars peg warming quite a bit now from the Wave 5 cars. I mean, these were a Walmart exclusive initially, and they were snapped up pretty quickly, particularly the Superman car for Jimmie Johnson. But now we're in June. I don't even think Batman vs. Superman is in theaters anymore at this point. So, questionable decision. It's going to be interesting to see if these cars peg warm really bad and start holding up future stock coming in. That'll be pretty interesting to see. But yeah, I figured I'd just address that controversy. Some people have justified that these cars coming back is that the last wave was a Walmart exclusive that had these cars in them, and some people don't have a Walmart, but I don't understand that because I can't throw a rock around here without hitting a Walmart store. So I mean, if there's places without Walmarts, I apologize, and I hope you get your cars. But it seems a very strange decision. If you want to see a full unboxing and review of these cars just without the packaging, check the card in the corner right there. And that'll take you right to my full unboxing and review of these Batman vs. Superman cars. But I didn't find it justified to buy another $6 die-cast just to pull out of the box for the purposes of this review. So there you go, guys. And if you're really interested in the Batman vs. Superman cars and you haven't seen that review yet, check it out. And for the rest of you, let's move on to the next car in the wave. So the first car we're going to take a look at in this wave in full is the number 5 Kasey Kahne Farmers Insurance 2016-ish car from Hendrick Motorsports. And the reason I say ish is because this car is just so insanely similar to the 2015 car that I kind of question why this was included in the wave, because Spin Master released one very similar to this just recently. There's the back of the box. That's the first and only time I'm going to show it to you guys, just so you can see it. Lots of legal stuff, but you do get the DC Comics stuff because, of course, You have to include that because they're in the wave. So there you go. Let's take this car out of its box and make sure I'm justified in my complaining. Also, what happened to these little the pit signs for the 2016 cars? I thought that's where we were going with the 2016 cars. I don't really understand that. That's another questionable thing, unless this is a 2015 car, and at the same time I'm still confused. So let's get it out of its box and take a look at it. Whoop. So that is a magnet, a hood magnet, and I mention that because there is another hood in this wave that is not a magnet. So let's take a closer look at Kasey Kahne's 2016-ish car. So here's a close-up look at Kasey Kahne's number 5 Farmer's car. Yeah, it is more or less exactly the same. In fact, I will compare it to the Spin Master here in just a second, just to prove my point, because there's pretty much every single sponsor. There's one difference I can tell, actually just two differences, but we'll get to that very quickly. But yeah, I mean, I get it. You have to get Kasey Kahne out there because he is a part of the biggest team in NASCAR, the most merchandise selling team in NASCAR. But Kasey Kahne underperforms quite a bit, and I just wonder why they chose to put this car in the wave. Kind of a meh choice, I will admit. I mean, even for Kasey Kahne schemes, you couldn't have done like the Mountain Dew scheme or something. Just a little bit concerning on how this, how some of the choices have been made so far with getting the cars out there. This wave is just a little bit of a disappointment, I'd have to say, from the perspective of just the car choices. There is your magnet, standard Lionel hood magnet, nothing too big to write home about. So the differences between the 2015 and 2016 car are this. You've got a Time Warner Cable, or there was a Time Warner Cable logo there, which is no longer there, and the contingency sponsors are significantly less. Aside from that, pretty much everything is the same on this car versus last year. And now to show you that, let's move the Lionel there and bring the Spin Master in. And zoom in just a little too much. And after I made you all sick, yeah, but obviously this car has the corrected windshield that Lionel is so famous for doing. But aside from that, I mean, virtually identical in terms of the paint scheme. It's just the difference in the molds that Spin Master and Lionel used, which you guys are more than aware of at this point. I mean, this car was released fairly recently as a Spin Master, so again, I have just a little bit of questioning as to exactly why this choice was made. I mean, perhaps Lionel doesn't take into account what Spin Master had released earlier, but it's a bit of a strange choice. Obviously, I think the Kasey Kahne fans probably will not care. They'll probably go out and buy this car anyway. But for those of you who are not Kasey Kahne fans, let me know in the comments if you're going to pick this one up, because I would be very interested to see if it's worth getting for you, because that's ultimately what these videos are about, is the consumer and what the consumer wants. So that is Kasey Kahne's number 5 Farmer's car. Let's move on to something a little bit more interesting. And I say a little bit because this is a car we've also had very recently, not only as a Spin Master, but as a Lionel, just not in a raced version. This is Kevin Harvick's Jimmie John's 2016 car. So let's take a look at it. Obviously, this is the kiddie version. You're not going to get any Busch beer or Busch Light or Busch anything. No Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, or anybody on this car. But the difference between this and most cars recently is that you do get a plastic hood with it. Why? I have no idea. So yeah, let's take a look at this car. Not too much to write home about. Obviously, it's just the standard Jimmie John scheme. So yes. So yeah, plastic hood. So that's interesting. You get a little extra plastic when you buy Kevin Harvick. Maybe that will help this car sell a bit more. If the hoods are a selling point, who knows? So let's take a closer look at the Jimmy John's 2016 car. So let's take a closer look at Kevin Harvick's freaky fast Jimmy John's 2016 car. And this is a bit different than your standard Jimmy John scheme, at least the way it has been for a while. I will say, without the Busch logos, this car looks awful blank on the side. Obviously, that's not something that Lionel has really any control over, unless they wanted to put out cars with a base. But in the toy section, generally, you don't want to put beer logoed cars out, because parents will go absolutely crazy. So the major difference, of course, on the 2016 scheme is that it says "Thank you, America" across the side of the car. So exactly what they're thanking America for, I have no idea, aside from being the greatest country in the whole world. But obviously I thought that was without stating, or didn't need to be stated. But obviously Jimmy John thought it needed to be stated, so they put it on the side of their race car. So yeah, I mean, it's a standard Jimmy John scheme, maybe just a little bit different than last year. We'll take a look at it when we look at the other Lionel, what the heck am I talking about? So let's take a look at the hood. Obviously, it's your standard plastic hood. I thought they had phased these out, but apparently not. They're just using them for special occasions. And exactly why Kevin Harvick was the special occasion, I haven't the foggiest. But yeah, Lionel has released one extra of these Kevin Harvick cars. Sorry, I'm still a bit sick, so if my brain doesn't work, please excuse that. So yeah, we do have a bit of a difference here. Black roof versus a white roof, and a white deck lid versus a black deck lid. But yeah, obviously this raced version, you know, you wouldn't be able to see the "Thank you, America" even if they put it on the side of the car, in which they didn't. But I'm not sure if I like last year's scheme or this year's scheme. It's so close between the two that honestly it doesn't make much of a difference between the two. But obviously the Kevin Harvick fans out there are probably going to pick it up. Oh yeah, you got a black bumper versus a white bumper as well. So wow, they changed the scheme up a ton. No, not really. I mean, they just kind of switched around some of the colors. But yeah, I wonder, you know what, I bet that's because of Busch, because Busch is kind of like a white logo, so anywhere they had to put Busch on the car, they had to change it to black. I'm guessing that's why it is. But again, I'm not the livery designer for Stewart-Haas, so what do I know? So that is Kevin Harvick's 2016 car. Let me know in the comments if you're picking this one up. I know some of the Kevin Harvick fans, particularly my friend Buddy, will definitely be picking this up. But I'm interested in the other ones that I'm not entirely positive are picking this up. So let's take a look at the next car in the wave. So for the longest time, there was a rumor that Caterpillar, the Caterpillar company, whatever you want to call them, did not want die-casts made of them sold in stores. So that's why the reasoning that at least we heard from Spin Master that we could never get a cat car. Well, in 2016, Lionel has given us 2 cat cars, so props to them for getting Ryan Newman cars out to the public for us to buy. So, this is Ryan Newman's 2016 Caterpillar Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. Almost called it Stewart-Haas, but I caught myself and I didn't look like a complete moron. This car is hard to find. Lots of people snapping this one up. You don't want to look at the back. But yeah, lots of people snapping this one up. Yeah, this is going to be the hard one to find out of this particular wave. The Caterpillar car, obviously very nostalgic for a lot of folks who grew up in the 90s because a lot of diecast was produced of the cat car when folks like David Green drove it. So yeah. Let's take it out of its box and take a look at it, because this is probably, for a lot of folks, the highlight of the wave. So there is your magnet, and it is indeed a magnet. And we'll take out Mr. Newman, and we'll go in for a closer look of Ryan Newman's Caterpillar car. So certainly for a lot of folks, this is the highlight of the wave, and I would tend to agree with them. I just think the scheme looks great. Lionel did a great job with it. A lot of old sponsors on this thing. Granger, who used to be a big-time sponsor of Greg Biffle. You've got, of course, Caterpillar, which is kind of the big sponsor, you know, the Ward Burtons and David Greens of the world. And, of course, you know, your Dave Blaney's, too, I suppose. But, yeah, fantastic-looking car. Just a classic paint scheme. A little bit complex from what it used to be. I can't say it's the best Caterpillar scheme ever. But it's a pretty decent one. He's okay. So it's hard to complain about this one, especially because we get a new car, a paint scheme that we have not gotten in NASCAR Authentics period before. So I'm very happy to see that. Either manufacturer has not given us a full-on cat car. Of course, we got the throwback, but the plain old cat car, fantastic to see. I'm very happy with this purchase. I think it's very good. Hard to say anything bad about it, to be honest with you, because it is just the kind of stuff I like to buy. Unfortunate that they did throw in the big hood pin. Or the big hood magnet. I kind of wish we had gotten the pit sign. I actually kind of like those, but it's too bad. I do wish there was a bit of standardizing with those. So let's take a look at this car next to the throwback cat car. Obviously, a big difference, but it's interesting to see the fact that we did get two of them produced versus none produced over the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So that's awesome. Props to Lionel. Keep at it, because we do like getting the cars that we usually didn't or can't get in the past for whatever reason. But obviously, you know, major differences between these two. Not a lot to compare, but it's interesting to see both cars getting shown off, that's for sure. So, let's move on to the next car in the wave, and this one's probably going to be controversial for several reasons, so get it all out of your system, start typing, #KyleCat, all that good stuff. Yes, whether you like it or not, Kyle Busch is your 2015 Sprint Cup champion, and to honor that, Lionel decided to release a championship car of Kyle Busch in the NASCAR Authentics line. Now, they did do the thing that original Big Bry, a.k.a. Brian LaFleur Jr., a.k.a. the guy who does the NASCAR Diecast News, does not like, and they put a big ol' champion logo right where the number is on the roof. However, this is a chase car, so it has all the chase markings and all that stuff from Homestead, Miami, where he won the championship. And we do get a card with Kyle Busch on there. Of course, we've got the For the Adult Collector on there, which will be present on all M&M's cars from here forward, because M&M's target advertising market is more than 5+ or whatever they put on these diecast cars. So they call it an adult collectible, even though, let's face it, it's a toy. But let's take this car out of its box and take a look at it. I know a lot of people are going to be controversial about it for all sorts of reasons. But I believe, now I'm going to have to think about this because, again, I'm sick. I think this is the first chase car we've gotten in the Lionel. No, we've gotten, see, that's why I was going to say it. I wasn't going to say it because we did get a Dale Jr. chase car. But this is the first chase car that we've got a bit of a commemorative logo on it. So this is going to be very interesting. And also, this is a race-winning diecast as well, even though it does not have any of the normal race winners stuff on it. So let's take a closer look at Kyle Busch in his controversial M&M's Crispy car. So regardless of how a lot of you folks feel, I am happy to get another Toyota in the line. I'm a big fan of how the Toyotas look, and I'm glad that we got another Toyota car. Interestingly enough, I do see a little logo that would again justify this car being an adult collectible. That's a Monster logo on there. So we did get another Monster logo on a Busch Brothers car. The first one we got was on the Darlington throwback car. In fact, we didn't even get a Monster logo on the regular Kyle Busch that was released earlier this year that I'm looking at. So that's very interesting. But I'm guessing all the logos on this car are accurate to the Homestead race. So for that reason, I actually kind of like this car. It's hard to say that because I know I probably am the voice of dissent. I do agree that it's kind of disappointing that they put the logo up top rather than like on the deck lid. But I think the reason they don't put the logo on the deck lid is because they'd be taking a sponsor off, and NASCAR doesn't like it when you cover up a sponsor that paid hard-earned money to put a car on the track, so they'll take the number off. I would imagine that's the reason why you don't see the champion logo on the deck lid. That's just my speculation, but my speculation is usually right. So here is the trading card that you get. Obviously, you guys know what the front of that looks like. Here's the back. It just gives you some season stats. He won the championship with 25 starts out of 36. 1 pole. He led 735 laps, 12 top 5 finishes, 16 top 10s. The average start was 8.2. Average finish was 10.8. He had 5 wins on the season, and the win at Homestead was his 34th NASCAR Sprint Cup Series win. Now, what does all this say down here? Kyle Busch, M&M's, blah, 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 blah. Lots of legal mumbo-jumbo. So that's what that says. I'm sure a lot of people are mad in the comments about that. Love seeing all the yellow chase splitter stuff on there. Very nice. Very happy to get it. So this is not the first championship car we've gotten from a maker of NASCAR Authentics, but this is the first car we've gotten that's a little bit more accurate, even though it does have the gigantic champion logo on the top. Obviously, Spin Master had a different take on it. I like Spin Master's approach to what they did with the championship car. I like the fact that they had a yellow number on top, which they probably should have had for this release. Unfortunately, they did not. You guys can go ahead and talk in the comments whether or not which one you prefer. But yeah, this is we've gotten 2 championship cars for the last 2 years, so that's interesting to see. Obviously, this is the comparison a lot of people are going to be interested in, is the most recently released Kyle Busch, which was released in Wave 4, versus this Kyle Busch, which is released in Wave 5 and commemorates the championship. Obviously, yeah, you can absolutely see the Monster logo. In fact, let's go in close-up look, since there is some stuff to go in close-up on. Obviously, the Monster logo and the race winner stickers, all 5 of them up there. So I guess this is technically a race win because his 5th win of the season was at Homestead. So I'm guessing that's what they went with. I think it's this is okay. I like it. I know a lot of people probably don't, but I like it. I think it's a good car. Pretty much everything else is the same because it was the same basic scheme. The differences are on here on the side, and of course with the splitter and rear spoiler that are yellow. But honestly, guys, I like this car. Good job, Lionel, on releasing it, so I'm happy with it. I'm glad to purchase it. It's a pretty cool car. So let's take a look at the Wave in full, and I'll give some final thoughts. So if you're one of the folks who's going to purchase all 6 cars in the Wave, that is what it's going to look like. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of Wave 5 of Lionel's NASCAR Authentics. I have to say my 2 favorites in the Wave, probably no surprise, are the 31 Ryan Newman and the Kyle Busch championship car. I think those are the 2 best, though your opinion may differ, and that's why we have the comments section to let me know that your opinion differs. But I think those are the 2 best cars. I have to say, disappointing Wave. This is probably the first miss, the major miss that Lionel has had. I'd say Wave 1 was probably the weakest before this, but this is definitely a little bit weaker, just in terms of like re-released cars. Really, we got maybe 2, maybe 1 brand new car to the Wave. I mean, obviously, I had a big backlog of cars that I could compare these to that have been recently released. So I have a hard time defending this. I hope Wave 6 is a little bit better. I would imagine Wave 6 will probably come out around July, maybe the end of June. It just kind of depends. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe for more NASCAR Authentics content coming very soon on the channel. And thank you guys so much for watching all of my videos, and we'll see you in the next one.